I am Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, and I'm joined by Deputy Borough President Diana Reyna, and the councilman that represents this area extremely well, Councilman Carlos Machaca. We are just really proud to announce our capital allocations here in the community, and we're joined by some real partners here. Councilman Jamani Williams, who is on his way, John Texador, Red Hook Initiative, Eric Landau, Brooklyn Bridge Park, and my good friend Sue Donahue, Prospect Park Alliance, as we announce these allocations. And we have put a great deal of money into our open spaces during our tenure in Borough Hall in the last few years. And we want to also thank New York's parks, especially Commissioner Marty Ma. He couldn't be here, but he has been an extreme partner in how we allocate our monies in our parks. Again, as I acknowledge both our council persons, Red Hook Initiative, a great partner in this community. The young people here in the Red Hook Initiative have just really played a major role in how Red Hook continued to evolve and to develop. We have gotten it wrong throughout the borough. When you look at how many longtime residents have been displaced, but they are getting it right here in Red Hook with the young people playing a major role in the decision making. Prospect Park Alliance, Charlie Reynoso, New York Restoration Project, Julian Macron, Fort Greene Parks Conservatives, and Vivian Morgan, Friends of Wingate Park. I don't know if Vivian is here.
Yes, she is right here.
Vivian is a unsung hero in Wingate Park as she continues to push for Wingate Park, and we're just proud to be here. You know, as the saying says, don't tell me where your priorities are, show me where you spend your money. And clearly, we're spending our money in the right places. This announcement today, we're announcing $7.7 million in capital budget for parks and recreational spaces. That is on top of the $29 million, over $29 million we have already allocated for park spaces. Green and recreational spaces, they're the great equalizer. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, it doesn't matter your economic status or your employment or your immigration status. Grass does not look for your status when it allows you to enjoy and to relax with your family. It compels us to leave the sterilized environment of our safe space in homes and come out and cross-pollinate with the communities and build stronger communities. Nothing gives us greater joy when we put money into our open spaces and you see children playing from different groups and different ethnicities and different economic backgrounds, and learning that that is part of the overall development of developing our full personhood when you allow yourself to appreciate the rich diversity of this borough that we call Brooklyn, where I say over and over again, 47% of Brooklynites speak a language other than English at home, and nowhere do you hear that language more than in our open spaces. And so this year, we are announcing $1.5 million to Brooklyn Bridge Park, $1 million to Prospect Park Alliance, which they are doing great things. We allocated $1 million last year, another $1 million this year. What Sue has done, and I'm extremely proud of, is she has turned that park into what we consider to be a great equalizer. For many years, certain parts of the park have been ignored, and not under her watch. She has come in and looked at the entire park and realized the park must be for the entire community, and we're going to see some great things that are going to take place in that park. No more desolate, uninvited spaces. Her team has created a creative oasis for Brooklynites in that area. $1 million to Tilden Playground for the construction of the Shirley Chisholm Community Center in Flatbush. $1 million to Build a Seed Playground for the construction of new playground in Flatlands. $1 million to Fort Greene Parks. $1 million to Harold Ickes Park, which is right here. This park and this allocation was generated by the young people. They made the decision. As you look at this space has just a small concrete softball diamond, but because of their consistency and their persistency, We are going to allocate $1 million to turn this into a safe space, and it sends the right message to these young people that their voice matters. By them telling us what they want, we're using their tax dollars to go back into this park, and we're truly pleased with that. $500,000 to Wingate Park and their entire team over there. For so many years, that park has been ignored, but there's a great voice there, and because of that, we're going to allocate $500,000 to that. $250,000 to New York Restoration Project for Bridge Plaza Community Gardens, $250,000 to Patagonia Park out in East Flatbush, and $100,000 to Windsor Terrace. So when you look at our allocations, you realize that we are crisscrossing the entire borough. Parks play a significant role in ensuring that we raise healthy children and families. That is our credo at Borough Hall. What do we do to ensure that children and families can create a space where they can continue to develop and grow? We're going to be announcing some of our education capital projects after already spending over $95 million in our school system. We're going to announce more. This has been a great partnership with the deputy and I in looking at our borough and stating, how do we put taxpayer dollars back into communities where communities can see that in a real way? And we have done that, and we will continue to do that in the upcoming cycle. And so I want to thank all of our partners, the great men and women who ensure that our open spaces continue to grow and continue to thrive. No matter how much a building goes up, that is concrete and mortar, it is the park that will determine the safety of our communities, how healthy our communities will become, and it is done every day, and we want to thank them. So I want to bring on the Deputy President Diana Reyna, Carlos Machaca, and then Councilman William, if he makes it here, and then some of our other speakers. But thank them all. Let's continue to make Brooklyn a green space to raise healthy children and families. Deputy Borough President.
Thank you, Borough President Adams. This is an exciting time for Brooklyn. We continue to see our work throughout Brooklyn. 2.6 million people comes with 2.6 million problems, but they also have 2.6 million solutions.
That's right.
And this is a simple equation when you talk about an integration of services for our borough. It requires that we do not leave off the table what is an urban oasis for people to come together. Our parks are in dire need of investment, and these great partners have come to the challenge to involve what is the public voice in a public participation, to understand that we have a seat at the table to be able to share those ideas and then put government to work. This is that example. $7.7 million, almost $30 million throughout the 4 years in this administration under the leadership of Borough President Adams. It gives me great honor to be able to stand here with him along these partners, especially our youth, because they have taken what may have seemed throughout their process as impossible, and they've turned the impossible feeling into possibilities, and building that confidence that they can interact with their government under the leadership of Councilman Menchaca to be able to deliver the resources that they know they need, they demand, and they can deliver to their community. This is what community civic participation is all about. So congratulations to all our partners. Le quiero dar nuestras felicitaciones a cada una de las personas aquí, las organizaciones. Estamos muy estimados con lo que es patrocinar $7.7 millones en espacios públicos, a donde nosotros podamos ya ver de que esta inversión de dinero va a cambiar las vidas de residentes. Representamos en Brooklyn, bajo el liderazgo de el presidente Adams, 2.6 millones de personas con 2.6 millones de problemas que también vienen con 2.6 millones de soluciones y ideas. Son esas ideas que estas personas aquí han convertido en lo que es la participación de su gobierno, hablando y desarrollando esas ideas para entonces pedir esa inversión tan importante. Le hacemos ese pedido a todo nuestro público, que sigan trayendo esas ideas, desarrollar ese plan para que nosotros podamos invertir en ellos y nuestras comunidades. Gracias y que Dios lo bendiga.
Thank you. And I think it's really important to re-emphasize what the deputy stated. The voice of the young people, it was heard because of a really council person who has his ears to the ground and understand the needs of his community. And he has partnered with us in the development of this park. And I just want to bring on now Councilman Carlos Machaca.
Thank you. Thank you. Y buenos días a todos. Actually, because of that, I actually want to bring the young people to speak before me to really tell you their story. Can I have the young folks come up? To the mic.
Don't be shy. Own it.
Oh, they're not shy. Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Keanu Slade. I'm the community organizer at the Rec Initiative.
Hello, my name is Jamel. Y'all all look beautiful today. I work at the RHI.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Good morning.
We got some beautiful weather today. Yes, we do. My name is John Texador, and I'm a facilitator at the Rec Initiative. 2 years ago, I started working with the Participatory Budgeting Youth Committee to collect ideas for the neighborhood, develop project proposals, and get out the vote for PB here in Red Hook. From the beginning, even before my time with PB, the Red Hook Skate Park was an idea submitted by the youth. Last year, I became the facilitator for the youth committee. We realized that the project was too expensive to be funded through the PB process in Red Hook. So we were to collect signatures from the Red Hook residents to support up to, we were to collect signatures from Red Hook residents in support of the park and presented our project to Council Member Machaca. We collected hundreds of signatures and the council member was very supportive of our work. PB can often feel like a long and difficult process for the youth. The announcement of the skate park today shows that involving young people in decisions can lead to real change. We are proud to stand here today with Councilmember Machaca and Borough President Eric Adams to announce the funding for this park. Thank you for supporting our efforts and for making the dream a reality. We can't wait to see the park filled with Red Hook youth. Thank you, Borough President, Council Members Machaca and Lander, and the Speaker for these funds. Thank you so much.
So I just want to say thank you and really join the chorus of incredible congrats to the young people here in Red Hook who have been down this journey with us as we continue to grow this concept of a participatory democracy, the people's budget. And this is not an easy task for anyone, whether you're a young person or a senior or an elected official or some of those naysayers out there that are still questioning whether or not it's a good idea to be investing so much time and energy. And when these moments happen, when we can come up and announce millions of dollars, and some of these projects have the fingerprints of the young people that have been thinking about how to change their community, to impact their own lives, to not just impact their day-to-day life or their after-school life, because now they can soon their imagination will become real and skate and express themselves, whether it be a skate park or a renovation at Coffee Park or the millions of dollars that the mayor brought to alleviate and mediate the lead in Red Hook fields. These are all the concepts that come from the community. This is the power of what we're trying to do here, and this is a power that we want everyone to support. The work that we've done in District 38 could not have happened, especially in Red Hook, with the Red Hook Initiative Youth Core team. Last year, we had about over 8,200 votes cast in participatory budgeting. That was the most votes cast in the history of PB in the city of New York. That is a testament to the kind of power that we have. And you heard it from John that talked about this project could have not been done in a PB scale. The PB scale is a $500,000, $1 million project. This is going to cost us about $3 million to reconstruct and bring that vision to fruition, which is why we want to continue to call on the mayor and the agencies to boost up their support to make sure that we can make these visions happen. And that can't happen without full partnership for everyone. So I want to thank the borough president, the only real borough president from Brooklyn, of course, because Brooklyn is the best, to come out and say yes and support the visions and the fingerprints from all these young people and all these communities. Harold Ickes, where we are today, has a history, and I want to make sure you know the history. Some of the local newspapers, George, have done their own homework, and we want to thank him for all the work he does to make sure that we bring the good stories out into the community. But this skate park is named after Harold Ickes, a long-serving federal interior secretary, a one-time NAACP leader in Chicago, and an anti-segregationist, and a man who served our country admirably during the era of the Great Depression. This is a family that will be proud of the work that we're seeing here today. Thank you so much for coming out today, and please tell this story. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, they're proud of those checks. You see they're holding them up high, right? You know, and so our two great partners, and we have three projects that's part of the participatory budget, and we're proud, as the councilman stated, to be the only borough president in the city that is participating in the program. We are encouraging our other borough presidents to also play a role. This is a great way to allow residents to have a voice in how we spend our capital dollars. Two great partners we have in the parks initiatives. One of the largest parks, two of the largest parks, the great Brooklyn Bridge Park. My good friend who's now at the helm of that, a longtime friend, Eric Landau and Sue Donahue of Prospect Park. We're going to hear from Sue and then Eric.
Good morning. As president of the Prospect Park Alliance, I'm thrilled to be here marking Borough President Adams' generous contribution to parks across Brooklyn. In partnership with the City of New York, the Alliance sustains, restores, and advances Prospect Park. The support of our elected officials is essential for us to carry out this mission, and the Borough President has shown a long-time commitment to the health of Brooklyn's flagship park. Thanks to the Borough President's support, and as he mentioned, in past years, we are restoring the Flatbush and Ocean Avenue perimeters of the park located along the east side of Prospect Park. He generously provided $1 million for the improvement of each avenue. This work includes reconstructing the sidewalks as well as enhancing the landscape with new trees, lighting, and street furniture. We thank the Borough President for his continued support this year. His pledge of $1 million means that we're able to extend this restoration work to Parkside Avenue, the park's southernmost border. This work will continue to enhance all sides of Prospect Park, as he said, and make improvements for all those entering Prospect Park to enjoy its incredible greenery and open space. The Borough President's support of green spaces like Prospect Park benefits all Brooklynites who rely on parks for exercise and relaxation. We welcome over 10 million visitors every year from across the borough and around the world, and its dedication will ensure that every edge of the park is beautiful and inviting. Prospect Park has been absolutely transformed over the course of the last 30 years. That transformation happens because of the support of community members, neighbors, kids getting involved, teenagers coming out, but it also can only happen because of great support from elected officials like we have surrounding Prospect Park, like Councilmember Menchaca, Councilmember Lander. We're so pleased to have the support of the Deputy Borough President, Diana Reyna, and in particular, I do want to thank Borough President Eric Adams, who's been a fantastic partner, fantastic supporter of the park, and we couldn't do the work without him. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. As the Borough President said, my name is Eric Landau, and I am the new president of Brooklyn Bridge Park. Brooklyn Bridge Park is a great story of how community activism, elected officials all came together to build an incredible resource and open space. And that's really what we're celebrating today when we talk about what the Red Hook Initiative has been able to do and is doing here in this playground. And Brooklyn Bridge Park is another great example of that. The funding that we received this year from the Borough President, $1.5 million for the Brooklyn Bridge Park Plaza, is the last piece of Brooklyn Bridge Park. It will create 2 additional acres of parkland connecting the Dumbo section of Brooklyn Bridge Park through the southern piers. It will provide for year-round activity, including seasonal markets, cultural events, medium-sized events, and ice skating in the winter. And so we are grateful and indebted to the Borough President and the Deputy Borough President for their unwavering support, not only of our project, but of our park. We couldn't have a better partner in them, and we thank all of our partners in government, our Councilman Steve Levin as well, and thank all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And to round out, my great partner in the Flatbush area, Councilman Jumaane Williams.
What's up, everybody? Hello. Thank you for coming out, and thank you to the Borough President for his commitments to park. This is a nice check for $1 million to Tilden Playground. My particular project is trying to make sure that we have a community center in a district that has never had one, and the closest place that we have a community center is 2 or 3 miles away. In an area that we're dealing with a lot of issues that come, unfortunately, with certain circumstances, usually around violence. And so we wanted to expedite getting a community center, and the best way to do that was to take some area of underutilized park and turn it into a community center. And without these kind of partnerships, we wouldn't be able to do that. We have the least amount of parks, one of the least amount of parks in the district. And so we're very dedicated to making sure we have capital funding to it. And so the work that this Borough President is doing is just phenomenal, particularly because many of us don't have the kind of foundations that some of the larger parks have, and so without these capital funds, these parks will go into ruin. So I'm very proud to partner with the Borough President and very happy for this check. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman has a new car, new suit, and new earrings. Rocking. Thank you. Any questions? Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, I just need everyone hold up your checks and hold them straight, and I need to see everyone's face and squeeze in. Okay. All right. Hold that pose. Okay.